Hey everyone, welcome back. We're now on the third installment of our little Gunpla revival series, and today it's Zhang God Gundam's turn to get cleaned up and brought back to life. All this in an effort to practice and get better at coloring and panel lining. I've come a long way compared to my previous projects, learned a bit more, but I still had a few mistakes in this video. Just like the previous builds, this is another beginner-friendly project. No airbrush, no expensive tools, just a few acrylic markers, a panel liner, patience, and the will to make Gunpla look its best. So if you've been following along with the last two builds, you already know how this goes. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with this time. This Zhang God Gundam has accumulated a noticeable layer of dust across almost every surface, from the head crest down to the legs. Some areas such as the shoulder armor and chest details don't quite match the color layout seen in official references, making the overall appearance feel a bit flat and unbalanced. The red section on the V-fin also lacks proper color separation, which is why a color correcting sticker was used to make up for the missing paint application. While functional, it doesn't quite blend in with the rest of the kit's aesthetic. The weapon, though nicely sculpted, looks rather plain and could greatly benefit from a touch of metallic silver and/or gunmetal to bring out its contours and mechanical design. Upon closer inspection, several nub marks are still visible throughout the kit, especially along the limbs and armor edges. And these rough spots would need to be sanded down and flattened. Overall, the kit still carries the dynamic presence of the Zhang God Gundam, but its limited articulation, typical for SD models, and the lack of vibrant finishes hold it back from fully showcasing its impressive sculpt and heroic design. Same tools as before, simple, effective, and beginner-friendly. Let's cover all the tools I'll use for this build. The display acrylic markers, fine bristle brush, sanding stick, masking tape, steady panel liner, display eraser pen, microfiber cloth, and a hobby knife. But if you're just starting out, or just trying to dip your toes into the hobby and want to keep things simple, all you really need are the display acrylic markers and the steady panel liner to get you going. These tools alone can already transform your build. The markers will let you add vibrant color and metallic accent without needing an airbrush or complex setup. And the panel liner will bring out the model's details that make your Gunpla look sharper and more dynamic. If you want to get your hands on any of these materials, I've linked everything down in the description. Let's start by taking the kit apart by major body sections. Next up, cleaning. Using a fine bristle brush, I'll gently remove the dirt and dust that settled into the surface. After cleaning, I'll separate a few more smaller parts, mostly for easier access while painting. Then it's time to sand down any leftover nubs or uneven surfaces so we get the clean, uniform finish. Once the surface feels smooth, I'll start masking off areas that don't need paint. I'm using masking tape and a hobby knife to carefully cover up sections that should stay clean, especially on multicolored armor parts where paint separation really matters. Taking a few extra minutes to mask properly saves a lot of cleanup later. I've got everything propped up on my flexible clip and stand. This makes painting and drying smoother and prevents fingerprints on the surface. Now for the fun part. Painting. I'm using the display acrylic markers again. Just like in the last two builds, they're super easy to control and perfect for smaller parts like these. Once the paint's completely dry, it's time for panel lining using the steady panel line. This step defines the details and makes every sculpted line pop, a simple trick that really upgrades any Gunpla build. To clean off the excess, I press the Display Color Master Eraser pen on the microfiber cloth to get the tip slightly wet. Then I use the damp section to wipe away the extra panel line marks. It's gentle and way safer than using cotton buds or alcohol. Tip, something I just recently found useful for tighter areas or fine details. I'll drape the damp microfiber cloth over a pen or any pointed tool to help me reach narrow spaces more accurately. This gives better control and keeps nearby painted areas safe from accidental wiping. After panel lining, I removed all the masking tape, although some parts did have bleeding underneath the tape, but that's quickly solved by using my eraser pen. Now for my favorite part, putting it all back together. Everything fits, looks cleaner, and the colors have more depth. It's small upgrades like these that make an older kit feel brand new. And here it is, the Zhang God Gundam, fully refreshed and ready for the shelf again. Even without airbrushing or fancy tools, you can see how a bit of cleaning, painting, and detailing can transform your kit completely. This one was a fun mix. The metallics really helped bring out the warrior energy Zhang is known for. Fun fact, this version of Zhang is inspired by the God Gundam from Mobile Fighter G Gundam, but stylized to match the fiery personality of the real Three Kingdoms general. Anyway, stay tuned for the next video where I'll be reviving the final member of my Dragon Watch collection from the SD Gundam World Sangoku Soketsuden model series. Again, if you want to get your hands on any of these materials, I've linked everything down in the description. I've made sure to include only tools I personally use and recommend, so you can confidently start your own builds without worrying about quality or compatibility. Whether you're a beginner looking to upgrade your first kit or someone trying to refine your technique, these are solid, beginner-friendly investments to help you get professional-looking results right at your desk. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Ryuki, and it is HighGrade Rouki, where I share the basic stuff I do as a novice builder and gamer. Here, you'll see Gunpla and gaming content like reviving or improving old kits and even gaming playthroughs. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials for more simple Gunpla builds and future gaming content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. GG.